Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lexi and today we're doing another pick a card. Today's pick a card, we are taking a look at how the person on your mind feels about you. I'm not focusing this on a particular niche. So this could be like a parent, a family member, a friend, a partner, whatever you want to take a look at, that's what we're going to do. I wanted to do a lighter hearted one to ease me back because I took a couple of days off doing pick a cards just to get my energy back, and I wanted to do a lighter hearted one to kind of like ease me in, so that's what we're doing. So we have pile number 1, which is the Desert Rose, pile number 2, which is the Mod Blush perfume, pile number 3, which is the Rose Quartz, and pile number 4, which is the Beauty Spell Jar. So see which pile you're drawn to. Keep the person that you have on your mind see which pile you're drawn to. The timestamps are going to be in the description box as usual, and I will see you guys at your timestamps. Hey pile 1, welcome to your reading. So we are taking a look at what the person you have on your mind currently feels about you now. So you guys chose the Desert Rose. I'm going to start with tarot and then we're going to move on to your oracle card. So let's get in. So pile number 1, please, spirit guides, tap me into the Desert Rose pile. Tap me into the Desert Rose pile. How does pile number 1's person feel about them now? How does pile number 1's person, just dropped it on the floor. We have the 4 of Wands. I don't know why when I'm tapping into you guys, I almost feel slightly inspired when I'm tapping into you in terms of your person. Like I'm almost looking to you for inspiration, or there's just something that maybe you're doing that I'm hearing achievements. That's what I'm hearing. I almost feel like there's something that you're doing that maybe you've like passed a course, maybe you're doing really well in your career, maybe like, you know, you could be like getting married or something like that. There's just something where I feel like there's something you're doing that I'm seeing a value. There's something that you're doing that I like respect, and I'm almost like feeling inspired. Like whatever it is that you're doing, I feel inspired by it. That's what I'm being shown. So I almost feel like this person looks up to you, or there's just something that you're doing that it's almost like, wow, like I kind of feel really inspired by that. Pile number 1, please, spirit guides. Pile number 1, how does pile number 1's person feel about them now? How does pile number 1's person feel about them now? I feel like you've always been this for this person though. I feel like this person's looked at you like, whether you feel it or not, I feel like to this person, you come across as somebody that has it all together. You come across as somebody that takes risks, somebody that's a bit of a daredevil, but somebody that's very confident. Now you may not think that about yourself, but that's how this person sees you. And I don't know why I'm looking at you, and the way it's making me feel is like a star. Like I feel like I'm sitting in like a what are they called, like a theater, and somebody's on the stage dancing and I'm kind of watching them. Like there's, it's almost like you've got balls, you know what I mean? Like you've got a lot of courage. That's what I'm looking at, and it's almost like I'm feeling inspired by you then. Like I'm almost taking inspiration from you, or that there's something there where it's like I'm getting inspired by you and things that you're doing, because there's this go-getter feeling that I'm getting. Pile number 1, please, spirit guides. Pile number 1. Pile number 1, please, spirit guides. Pile number 1. What does pile number 1's person feel about them now? We have the Ace of Wands. I don't know if some of you guys have switched up your hairstyle, or switched up your look, or switched up, you know, like sometimes when you just do healing, you naturally just change, but you also come more into alignment. So there's like a glow about you. I feel like there's something where some of you guys have either come into alignment, or there's something, I don't know, some of you guys have just like changed up the way that you dress. Again, you could have like shifted careers. I feel like there's a switch up. I feel like there's a shift, which is sort of making me feel like this person might not be around you so much. I mean, the title of the video is what do they think about you now? So this could be like a past tense situation for a lot of you guys, but that's how I feel. Like it's almost like a switch up, like you know, like, I don't know why I'm thinking of a dating app, but you know, like when you swipe right, like I'm being shown something like that, but it's like you've switched up, like there's something that's shaken up, like there's something that's kind of like changed about you, and that's what I think that they're thinking about in terms of you. But whatever it is, they're feeling inspired. I feel like that's the emotion that I'm feeling when I'm thinking of you, when I'm in their energy. I feel kind of inspired. It's like, where did that come from? Pile number one, what does pile number one's person think about feel about them now? What does pile number one's person feel about them now? Did we just drop a card? I swear we just dropped a card. I don't see anything. Okay. What does pile number one's person feel about them now? We have the Four of Swords. Pile number one, please, spirit guides. Pile number one. What does pile number one's person feel about them now? And we have the Ten of Wands reversed. Okay. The back of the deck, you have the Nine of Pentacles. Okay, this does feel very, very lighthearted. I'm not gonna lie, no cups have come out, so I wouldn't say that they're like heavy in their emotions or heavy necessarily in their feelings. I feel like this is somebody that they could be more logic based, they could be more like mental based, but what I'm being shown with the Four of Swords and then the Ten of Wands reverse, I almost feel like I'm changing the way that I'm looking at you. So the way that I would have looked at you before, it's almost like you've I keep being shown like a star, and it's like it's getting brighter and brighter and brighter. That's what I'm being shown. And yes, I'm getting inspired, but it's also changing the way that I would have thought about you. And I feel like it's changing the way that I would have viewed you. Whatever it is I would have projected onto you before, maybe I made up my own ideas of that. It's almost like changed the way. This is the thing. I feel like this person's a little bit like more of a mental energy naturally. And I feel like sometimes they may just project onto people, or they may have like a certain view and they can get all up in their head. Whereas I feel like you're coming through with all of these wands energies, and this is how they're viewing you, because I feel like you've almost, think of like the wands like fire, like we've literally just lit something. We've just lit something on fire. Fire alchemizes something. So fire changes one, let's just say it turns like herbs into smoke. Like it literally shifts something, it changes something. So there's something that you've changed, or there's something that you've like activated within yourself, where it's almost like you've bulldozed this person's perceptions on you, which has kind of created somewhat of like an ego death in terms of how they would have looked at you. Think of their projections like strings that were placed all over you, and you just come in and snip the strings. There's something you've done, there's something you've activated, there's something you're doing. This person's feeling very inspired. You guys are looking good, I will say that, because I feel very attracted to you. Now, again, if this isn't like a romantic situation, this could be they're just attracted to your aura. Your light is very bright. But you know, you're still looking good. There's something about you physically looking good, or there's something about just the way you're carrying yourself. Like this is more mental. They're very in them like mental thoughts, and there's something which I feel like I can't deny. So I don't know if like you're going out a lot more. It could be this is through social media, so you're on social media a lot more, and there's this feeling of like it's come out of nowhere. So it's almost like crashing their old perception of you, and now they're looking at you in a different way, and that's what's happened here. I feel like they feel inspired. I feel like they may be taking inspiration from you, and it's also making them kind of, you know, when like you have an idea of something, like let's just say somebody's like, if you're like working it, like making money, you have to have like a structured job, and that's like your mind frame for life. Like, no, you have to have a structured job, everything has to be the way that it is. But then somebody makes it big, like from the same area as you, doing like being a performer, being a dancer, being a singer, whatever it is. You will then have to change your mindset on how abundance and all of that can be achieved, because somebody has just done it in a way that you deemed could never happen. So that's going to go through like a crash and transformation in terms of how you look at that. I feel like that this person may be going through that with you. Again, I'm not picking up too much feelings. I'm not picking up like this emotional attachment. There's no cups coming through here. I don't feel the emotional side, but when I'm tapping into any sort of emotion, I feel inspired. I almost feel activated. So like you're inspiring, activating this person. It's almost like I'm applying maybe what you're doing in your own life to my life, or it's like I'm kind of like thinking about how you've done X, Y, and Z, and it's like, how can I do this in my life? How can I shake that up in my life? How can I do that in my life? And even with the desert, rose here, when we think of like roses, it's like activates by the sun. So that's what I'm being shown. It's almost like, how can I water my own garden? How can I nurture my own garden? And again, with the lack of emotions here, I mean, you have the desert rose. Obviously in the desert there isn't any water, so there's I do feel there is a lack of emotion here, but I do feel inspired. I almost feel excited. This person could be on your social media quite a bit, so this could be just somebody that isn't deeply connected to their emotions anyway, or this could be somebody that you didn't necessarily have an emotional connection with. If you hear noises, Padme's chasing a flying daddy long legs around. It's now gone up on the wall, but if you hear noises, that's the noise. But I do feel like there is definitely a lack of feeling, but they do feel inspired by you. And if this was like a romantic connection, I feel like they feel like you're looking good. That's what I'm being shown. If this is somebody you're not talking to, I don't necessarily feel any need for movement forward. Like, I don't really think if this is somebody you're not talking to that they'd reach out anytime soon. I feel like right now they may be in a bit of an analytical stage, maybe going through that breakthrough and feeling a little bit inspired, but they almost feel like why you're shining out, they almost feel maybe that they're lacking. So it's almost like right now they're almost wanting to take that inspiration to bring that light into their own life, if that makes sense. There is somewhat of like a competitive vibe, whether it's ex, friends, family. There is somewhat of a competitive vibe, but it's almost coming from like a, you're doing this and now I feel a bit insecure, so I need to like build this up. Like, say now you've made like a certain amount of money, this person's like, oh my god, my money's low, I feel inspired, let me get my money up. Or that's how it's feeling. Like that's what's happening with this energy. Pile number one, please spirit guides, how does pile number one's person feel about them now? How does pile number one's person feel about them now? I feel like they would definitely look at your social media or maybe ask about you, but I feel like it's to do with something you're doing. It's almost like, what have you ticked off the box now? Like, what have you ticked off the box now? And I feel like they feel inspired by you in that aspect. We have daydreams and decisions. Pile number one, please spirit guides, how does pile number one's person feel about them now? We have solar plexus chakra. I'm not shocked that that's come through. When this person was in your life, or even if this person's still in your life, I feel like they might have looked to you or still look to you in a sense of like an ego boost, in the sense of like, because they view you as somebody that's very confident and like a go-getter. They see you as having attributes that maybe they don't have. So it's almost like if they were to be on par with you, or let's just say you just like them or were giving them attention, I almost feel good about myself. Like, that's kind of like how it feels. This person on my team, I feel good about myself. Like that's the vibe here. They definitely would have what you do or the person that you are on somewhat of a pedestal. That's kind of like how this feels. Just because of things that you do, they almost feel like you have aspects that they don't have. And I feel like at times that can make them feel insecure. But then I think at other times that can kind of like activate them and inspire them. And then we have Simply Love come through in reverse as well. And the back of the deck, we have Challenging Times, but the Challenging Times is also in reverse. Okay. Daydreams and Decisions, solar plexus chakra. Yeah, I feel like you're inspired. Like, I don't know why I'm looking at what you're up to or like what you're doing, and it's inspiring me to go do that. Like, this person's just gone and got a car, I'm gonna go and save and get that car. It's almost like I don't feel this person's in the best part of their life right now. Like, I feel like this person's kind of feeling a little bit confused, or just feeling like the way I'm being made to feel, I'm in the water but I'm trying to keep my head above water. That's how I feel. Whereas I feel like there's little things that you're doing where I feel like they're getting inspired by. It's almost like, let me hold on to this, let me hold on to that. It's like you're being an inspiration, buddies. You're being an inspiration for them where they're right now feeling a little bit clouded. That's how this feels. And this could be somebody you're still talking to and they're still in your life. It could be like a family member where you're just giving them advice or whatever it is you're doing. It's like, I want to get to where they are. It could be that. But yeah, if this is somebody you're not speaking to, I feel like they do definitely check up on you there. Especially if you guys have your own business, or you guys are very creative, or you guys just go-getters or ambitious, they feel very inspired there. That's what I'm gonna say. Yeah, because solar plexus, I don't know why, I just feel like you're getting coins. Like, I'm being shown like the Mario kind of coins, and it's like you're getting coins, so it's almost like it's it's making me realize why I don't have these coins. So I'm wanting to kind of go and head into the game so I can get them too. There does feel like there's a competitive streak here, I'm not gonna lie. That's what's coming through, but it doesn't feel negative. It's just like, I need to have that too. It's coming from a feeling of like, I don't feel good enough. Like I said, the nicest patties. And then the simply love being reversed. I don't know why. I feel like this person may have, this person's confidence is attached to what it is they can achieve. And I feel like this person's, it's like, I only feel worthy, or I only feel worthy maybe of love if I can achieve X, Y, and Z. And I feel like because of that, I feel like those activations for you, I feel like whatever it is that you're doing in your life, or whatever it is that's becoming abundant, or whatever it is you've done, whether it's your own inner healing, that, you know, if you've had like a glow up, or if you've been purchasing certain things and you've been achieving certain things, or starting businesses, or whatever it is, I feel like this person's then like looking to you like, I need to be that too, I need to be that too, because you are on somewhat of a pedestal for these people, power one. That's kind of how it's coming through, but I don't see too much emotion. I don't see too much emotion with this person. So pile number one, that is what I have for you guys. I really hope that you enjoyed your reading. Hit the thumbs up and comment down below if you did. I'm sending you guys all of my love. I hope you have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, whatever you're watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys for watching. Hey pal 2, welcome to your reading. So we are taking a look at how your person feels about you now. So you guys chose the mod blush. I'm going to start with tarot, and then we're going to move on to your oracle card. So let's get in. So pile number 2, please spirit guides. Pile number 2, how does pile number 2's person feel about them now? How does pile number 2's person feel about them now? Pile number 2, how does pile number 2's person feel about them now? It's interesting because I'm hearing chalk and cheese, but in the sense of, I viewed you this way, now I'm viewing you that way. Like, I don't know if there's something that you've done recently where this person would view you differently, but the way it's coming through, it's like softer. So in the past, this person could have viewed you as somebody that was quite hard, or somebody that was quite, how do I put it into words? Tap me into the energy. Like, how I'm viewing you in the past, because I keep being shown past and present, like, I'm seeing you as somebody that's very fiery, and somebody that's very, like, I feel like I've got something all wrong, because I'm looking at you now, and I feel like a shell is opening up, and like the sea urchin in the middle, like that's what I'm actually seeing. It's like I've viewed something differently, and I don't know if it's something you've done, or it's something that they've changed the perception of. Maybe they've done a level of growth, I'm not sure, we'll get into it. But it's like I'm seeing layers that maybe I didn't see before. Maybe it's through their own growth, or it's something that you've revealed, but we'll get into that. So we have strength. Pile number 2, please spirit guides, how does pile number 2's person feel about pile number 2 now? We have the 7 of Wands. How does pile number 2's person feel about my pile number 2's now? How does pile number 2's person feel about my pile number 2's now? We have the Moon. One more card, please, spirit guides. How does pile number 2's person feel? They're very conflicted. This one's like, pile number 1 was so clear cut, and this one's just slightly, there's like a fogginess, which you're gonna have to bear with me while I get into it, because I feel like this person may be a bit conflicted on how they feel about you. We have the Chariot at the back of the deck as well. Okay. Strength card, I'm making all these noises. The strength card, 7 of Wands, the Moon, the 4 of Pentacles reverse. I feel like this person feels a lot more forthcoming to you than they would have been. I don't know if this is somebody you fell out with, so there was like an anger or frustration, but there's almost some sort of like understanding, like I kind of get it now type of thing. You know, like when you cut yourself and you hurt yourself and like you're in pain, so if something, like if somebody's trying to put medicine on it, like you're naturally gonna be like, you know, you're gonna maybe like lash out if you don't know what's going on, like why is it hurting more, what's going on. But then once that's healed and everything's like kind of settled, you're like, oh, of course that was medicine. You know what I mean? Like that's the type of feeling that I'm getting. I don't know if this person's overcome a wound, or they've watched you overcome a wound. I feel like I'm looking at something so differently now. Like I've kind of like wiped the mirror clean, and now I can finally see something truly. Now that it's kind of like gone, or now that something's passed, or there's like a new energy there, if that makes sense. I almost feel like this is a connection where you haven't been around them for some time, because I almost feel like both parties would have let go of something. It's almost like I put something down, because I almost feel like when I'm looking from the past, I'm almost looking at you as somebody, and this is, don't shoot the messenger, this is just something that's coming through. I almost feel like somebody's fiery, but especially with the Seven of Wands, I almost feel this energy of maybe like volatile, but it could be maybe because you and this person might have had an argument, or this person could have like triggered you. Because there's this feeling of like a battle, like there's anger or frustration, and maybe this person got you to kind of like raw, like the Lion card here, like maybe the Lion card, the Strength card, maybe this person got you to raw, maybe this person got you to have to defend yourself, maybe this person got you there. So it's almost like this person's kind of like, oh, like from the past, it's almost like I'm looking at like a crab that's pinched me, and it's like, oh, that crab pinched me, like F crabs, like whatever it is. I feel anger and frustrated, but time has gone on, I've grown up, and now I understand that I was in the crab's home, and I was stepping on the crab's territory, and the crab was frightened, so the crab snipped at me. Like that is what happened, and they're actually very, you know, very fragile creatures. That's why they have that shell, to keep them safe. So there's a reference there where it's almost like there's a level of understanding that is coming through. I feel like it's more so passing through, especially with the Moon card here. Like I feel like it's coming in waves, or it's coming in phases. So this is either somebody that's kind of like grown emotionally, so they're looking at you differently, like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done this, or maybe I shouldn't have said this. Is like they're understanding something differently. Or I just see from you, like I'm looking at you with different layers. I don't know if maybe you're displaying a more sensitive side, or you're displaying a side where your heart's a little bit more open, or you're being a little bit more open with your emotions. But I almost feel like I'm viewing that, or I'm aware of it, because I'm seeing different layers. And it's almost like I kind of got that wrong. Like I was looking at you from a different perspective. I was looking at you in this way when I should have been looking at you in this way. And it's not anything that you've actually changed. I just feel like it's like I see the full perspective now. Pile number one's felt like there was a shake up and a change. You guys, it's more so like I'm pulling back, and I can see from a different perspective. I actually want to pull more cards, because I want to see what would have caused this, because I feel more open to you. I feel like this is somebody that if you're not speaking to, I feel like at one point you may hear from. Don't attach to that outcome though. Just because when we fester and we attach, we can change course. Just allow anything to come through. But I feel like this, because that feels like a bygones be bygones sort of thing, or that there's almost like I see something differently. So I feel like there's an emotion there, or maybe because of the volatility, or the way I was projecting onto you before, or the way I felt about you before, it's almost like there's maybe feelings or a way that I looked at you that I never really explored, because I would have repressed it, because I was looking at you from a different perspective. But now that I can see, I almost feel like there's a landing for a plane to land on. It's almost like there's something maybe coming up for me that I can see, and it's like, oh, actually I didn't realize you had this side to you, or actually I didn't realize. Like I feel like I could feel safe with you, whereas before I almost feel like my arms are up, I feel like I've got to fight. Whereas now I feel like there's an understanding, and I kind of feel safe. And it's almost like there's where there once was hostility, I almost feel like there's a level of peace, which would have come from both of you putting like the swords down. It would have come from both of you maybe even walking away, and maybe even having a level of acceptance of like, this is done, like this is over. And that's where that's come from. If you hear noises, Luna and Padme are running around, so it's one of them. So what caused them to make this shift? Because this has come in phases. I do feel there's a level of healing that's happened. I feel like this person didn't see you clearly before. Pile number 2, please, spirit guides. Pile number 2. Pile number 2, please, spirit guides. What would have caused this person to see my pile 2s differently? What caused that? What caused the shake up? We have the 9 of... No, we don't. We have the 6 of Wands reversed. What caused my pile number twos person to go through the shift in perception of my pal number twos. I kind of feel like, not like I'm analysing you, it's almost like I'm feeling into you. Like, I don't know if there's something you said or something that you've, like, something this person may now know about you, where I almost feel like, I feel like I'm softening. I feel like I'm understanding you. I feel like there's a level of empathy. 2 more cards, please, spirit guides. What's caused the shift? What's caused them to open? Because before I don't feel there were feelings, whereas now there feels like there's emotion coming through, but it's like a level of understanding or empathy. You have the 7 of Pentacles as well. And you have the 8 of Swords reversed. And you have the 5 of Swords reversed at the back of the deck. It wouldn't shock me if you... I feel like you'd probably hear from this person at one point. If you're not already hearing from them now. I do feel like there's a rupture where I feel there's a level of empathy here for sure. 6 of Wands reversed, Queen of Cups, 7 of Pentacles, 8 of Swords reversed. It's you though. It's something that's like... I feel like you've become a lot more vulnerable. I feel like you're a lot more open with your emotions. I feel like maybe you've grown into that. Maybe you've done a level of healing, whereas before you would have been triggered and maybe had defenses. Whereas now it's almost like you're able to see, because there's almost this feeling of like the waters have been calmed, if that makes sense. That's how this person feels. But I almost feel like this person feels like they've had an explanation. So I don't know if maybe you've put something on social media about things that you've gone through. I don't know if maybe people around them have kind of like explained this person's gone through this or this person's gone through that, but it's something coming from you. I thought it could have been them, but it's more so coming from you. Like, it's a shift in your energy where I almost feel like I feel like you're open, and I feel like, how can I put it into words? I keep being shown like a harbour being open and boats coming through. Like, that's kind of how it feels. Like, there's I feel like some of you guys may have activated like a certain frequency, maybe within doing some like healing. But there's just this level of fluidity with your emotions, or maybe you're a lot more open with your vulnerabilities or your emotions, or because of maybe like wounds that you've cleared. Maybe you're a lot more confident in yourself, so your true nature, that emotional nature that maybe you hid before, is coming through. That's how it feels. I feel like your true nature, your more sensitive nature, it's coming to the forefront, whereas before it was hidden behind a shell. And now I feel like you're more open. And this person's I feel like this person's feeling it though. This feels like they're feeling it more than... they could be seeing it, but I feel like they're feeling it. I feel like I'm aware of something. Like, I've found a piece of information, or I mean, this person could have gone to a reader, like a tarot reader, and asked about you. But also, I feel like, yeah, they could have, like, even maybe watched a pick a card or something like that, if you know they're into that. But they could have also had information being brought to them. Or again, it's something that they've seen via social media. If you talk about things on social media, that's what this person's seen. Because I feel like information's been handed. Like, I understand something. It's like I have all the facts now. Before I didn't. And also, neither of you are in what feels like would have been like a pit of fire that was there before, if that makes sense. Because there's definitely a clarity and an understanding here that I'm seeing. I feel like this person's seeing you clearer. With the 7 of Pentacles, and then you've got that sun at the end. Like, I feel like this person's seeing you and seeing different layers of you. I feel like you guys have definitely grown, and I feel like there's layers that are just more out there now that you would have hidden. And I feel like these are layers that this person would have been able to empathize with. Maybe you were more on the defense, or you just hid your more vulnerable parts. This person can see that now. This person can see those emotions. So there's a level of empathy. There's a strong level of empathy, and it's almost like I feel like I'm walking backwards, so I'm kind of like retracking my steps, and I'm like, oh, so I'm looking at like maybe arguments that were had or situations that happened. It's like, oh my god, I can see it now. Okay, I get it now. Okay, that makes sense to me now. Like, that's how they feel. I do feel they feel like they're looking at you in more of a fragile way, but it's almost like a tender loving care type of way. Like, I almost feel like I want to nurture. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it's a little bit like a feral cat, but it's kind of like I get it, so I know what to do now. Before, I didn't know I was dealing with that. Like, that's kind of like how it feels, and not in a negative way of like, I didn't know I was dealing with that. It's more so, I was approaching this in this way because I thought they were like this. I didn't know this could have been harmful type of thing. I may have been saying certain things that I shouldn't have been saying, thinking that it was just like tongue-in-cheek, but actually I didn't realize that would have actually hurt this person. Like they're almost retracking conversations, or they're retracking their steps, and it's like, well, of course they would have acted that way, or of course that would, like, I feel like I've got a piece of information that kind of was vital that just wasn't seen before. There was like a clouded judgment before. Tap me into how they viewed them before, spirit guides. Show me the energy from before. Just one card of how this person viewed my pile number 2s before. 5 of Wands reversed. I don't know if this person used to go tit for tat with you, like Tom and Jerry style tit for tat. Because I almost felt like I'm enjoying a back and forth. I literally feel like Tom and Jerry. What I don't like is this could have been like a push and pull situation. It's because I'm picking up like 5th house energy, like a whirlwind romance, but with it being reversed, it's like the negative side of that. Like it's almost like I'm jumping into this. It's like a whirlwind, it's fire, and I'm enjoying it, but I'm not emotionally fully investing. I just like the fire of this, so then there's no consequence of what happens after. Whereas now they're looking at it like maybe I was doing that, but this person might not have been doing that, and now I'm looking at it differently. So it's like, oh, that's what I'm being shown. And that's where I feel maybe emotions that could have been there before that were never explored, I feel like they may be coming up now, because it's like, oh, you know what I mean? Yeah, that's kind of like how it feels. And one card in regards to how they view them now, because I feel like I'm getting the story rather than how they're like feeling about you now, because I feel like there's a level of empathy. I almost feel like I want to nurture you. Pile number 2, please spirit guide, show me how my pile number 2s view and feel about my pile number 2s right now. Just one card to represent King of Cups. Yeah, there's almost this feeling like I want to nurture. There's almost this feeling of, got the 8 of Cups reversed at the back of the deck. There's a lot of like returning, like I'm returning to something. I'm going back, I'm retracing my steps. With the 5 of Swords that was reversed, and then the 8 of Cups reversed. I feel like I'm returning to something because I'm looking at it differently. I feel like I want to nurture. I feel like I kind of want to start again, or I feel like I want to clarify a few things. I feel like I've got more pieces of information. I feel like I was looking at it kind of like wrong, if that makes sense. I feel like this person could have been a lot younger when you were going back and forth with this person. This feels like you were going back and forth with this person. Like this could have been a friend where it, like, maybe they were just looking at it like, oh, lighthearted, like, you know, it's kind of like a whirlwind friendship, like we spend a lot of time together, whatever, but they didn't see how you're very sensitive and you would have like emotionally connected. And maybe there would have been levels of emotionally connecting, but they wouldn't have like jumped in too deep, because maybe they thought, oh, well, you're just doing a back and forth too. It's just interesting because I feel like I'm following your lead, so I'm playing this bat and ball, but now I'm realizing that it was more. You know what I mean? But it's like I realized it way too late. I realized it now that I put it down, fallen back, and now I'm really... It's like the further I am away, the more I'm seeing you clearer. But there is a piece of information they would have got, whether it's through going to a psychic reading, watching a pick a card, whether it's through something you put on social media or something they've heard through the grapevine. There's something they understand now because of a piece of information that they would have received, that they would have seen. So I'm going to pull 2 oracle cards. Pile number 2, please, spirit guides. How does pile number 2's person feel about them now? We have giving and receiving. We have moving on. I'm going to do one more because I'm sure I did 3 for pile 1. Pile number 2, throat chakra reversed. Okay. On the back of the deck, you have the 3rd eye reversed. Okay, giving and receiving, moving on, 3rd throat chakra reversed. Okay. Okay. You know, like when you watch Tom and Jerry and you're like, oh, they hate each other, they're chasing after each other. But there's like a certain episode in Tom and Jerry where, like, I think Tom captures Jerry and then lets him go. because it's like, it's not even about that. He just likes running back and forth with him. Like, he enjoys that. I feel like this person might have thought that you were only looking at the connection maybe more lighthearted, and maybe they were too. And I think that's why they didn't invest too much emotion into it, I feel. That's kind of like how it's feeling. And I feel like time has passed with the moving on card and the beach. It's almost like the tide has come to kind of clear the footsteps. And now that I'm looking back, it's like, oh, I was looking at it from like the wrong perspective. Like, I wasn't looking, that there's something I wasn't seeing that now I'm seeing. The one thing I will say with the throat chakra being reversed, I feel like there are things that have been left unsaid with this situation. I don't know if they're fully going to be said. There's this want or need to that's going to come in at one point to reconcile or at least reach out. But the throat chakra does feel like there's a block there. It's almost like, what would I say? Too much time has passed. There's kind of, I would say, a level of guilt that I'm picking up. And then I would also say there's, it's kind of like, do you know when you have like a really messy house and then it's like, where would I start? And then it's like, obviously with the throat chakra, to speak about certain things or be vulnerable or talk about things like that, you have to like kind of put yourself on the line, which I feel like this person might try and avoid. So there's a feeling now with the throat chakra reversed, so that there is that resistance and there is that kind of block there. And I think that could stop this person from reaching out, but there is like a want there that's going to come up. I don't know if it's 100% there. I still feel like I'm getting used to the water. This is the most conflicting one, I think. I think this pile's quite conflicting, and I'm seeing something differently, so I don't know how to move with it. I've got new information. How do I apply that? It's that type of feeling. So there's a level of like conflicting, and like there's a fogginess. But I have to say, what I'm seeing in the cards with the Five of Swords being reversed and the Eight of Cups being reversed, they're either wanting to go back to the situation and look at it differently, like they're retracing their steps. But there is this feeling of like wanting to go back or speak to you in some way, because it's almost like there are things that I would like to get off my chest. But with the throat chakra reversed, it's like, I don't know if communication is severed, in the sense that one of you could have the other blocked. Like, you could have this person blocked or whatever. They could feel like you don't want to talk, or that you wouldn't want to talk. You could also decide you don't want to talk to this person, which is also fine. And that could also be in their head. They wouldn't want to talk to me now anyway. There's a feeling now where I feel like I'm blocking that level of communication type of thing, through my own kind of thoughts, it feels. But yeah, pile number 2, that is what I have for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hit the thumbs up and comment down below if you did. I'm sending you guys all of my love. I hope you have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys for watching. Hey pal 3, welcome to your reading. So we are taking a look at how your person feels about you now. So you guys chose the rose quartz. I'm going to start with tarot, and then we're going to move on to your oracle cards. So pile number 3, please spirit guides, tap me into the collective of my pile number 3s. Tap me into the collective of my pile number 3s. I've just dropped a bunch of cards on the floor. Bear with me. Okay, let's do that again. Pile number 3, please, spirit guides. Pile number 3. How does pile number 3's person feel about my pile number 3's now? How does pile number 3's person feel about my pile number 3's now? How does pile number 3's person feel about my pile number 3's now? We have the Devil. We have the Two of Wands reversed. Pile number 3, please, spirit guides. How does pile number 3's person feel about my pile number 3's now? We have Temperance. Pile number 3, please, spirit guides. Pile number 3. How does pile number 3's person feel about my pile number 3's now? And we have the Star. In the back of the deck, you have the Wheel of Fortune. Okay. Let me pop this down. The Devil, the Two of Wands reversed, Temperance, and the Star. I'm not gonna lie, I do feel with this particular pile there is a level of animosity, especially with the Devil card and the Two of Wands reversed. I don't know if you've cut this person off, like completely walked away, or maybe you've retracted your energy, or maybe you've just put in some heavy boundaries with this person. There does feel like there's a level of animosity. It's like I feel like I don't understand. Like I feel like I don't understand. I feel like something's being taken away from me, and I don't understand why. Like, think of like a kid and they're allowed like candy, but they're only allowed a certain amount, so you take the big bag off them and you leave them with like one little piece, and then it's like they eat that one little piece and then they're like, where's the bag? And you're like, well, you're not having any more. And then it's like they don't have that emotional intelligence as a child to understand that like it can be bad for them. Like they don't get that, so it's like, where is it gone? They start to cry, right? So there's that sort of feeling where I feel like something isn't necessarily going my way. Like I feel like there's an outcome of a situation that I would have liked and it's not happening. It's almost like I feel like I'm building a tower of bricks and then they keep falling, and it's like I really want them to be built up but they keep falling, and I'm kind of getting frustrated, but I'm not kind of like understanding why. I'm not even kind of delving into it. I'm just frustrated that it's not going in a way that I would like it to go. And then I feel like I'm getting triggered. That's honestly how I'm feeling. There is a level of animosity when it comes to you. So this, I do feel for a lot of you guys, you could have just shut the door on this person. You could have just walked away. You could have like retracted your energy. That's kind of like how this feels. There's definitely, when they're thinking of you, there is that level of frustration, because it's almost like, why aren't you playing along? Or why are you not, like, why aren't you enjoying it the way I'm enjoying it? You know what I mean? Like, this could be like a friend that always wants you to do things that they want to do, and then you've decided, actually, I don't really want to do these things, I want to do something else. So there's kind of like a frustration there where it's like, well, why don't you want to do the things that I want to do? And they could even be getting triggered in terms of like, it's like a rejection, but it's actually just the energy isn't aligning, but they're not taking it as the energy isn't aligning. I feel frustrated. I feel like you're not, I'm taking it as rejection. I'm taking it as, what is this feeling that I'm getting? It's kind of hard to sit in this feeling. Tap me more into the Devil energy of like what it is that I'm actually feeling, please, spirit guides. The Devil energy and the Two of Wands. I feel so frustrated. That's the feeling that I'm in. I kind of feel frustrated. And this is like the raw energy before we move on to the other cards. I feel frustrated. It's like, I don't know if you and this person, like, this could be somebody that you were working with, or this could be like a friend and you both had like a completely different idea of how something could go. This could have also been like a relationship where you and this person had a completely different idea of like what a relationship is, and then it just was kind of like falling through, because there's almost this feeling of like, why aren't you doing it my way, or why aren't you doing what I would want? Like, I'm thinking of me. That's how I feel. It's like, why aren't you doing what I would like, or why aren't you doing what I, you know? And this could even be mirrored in the sense you might have felt the same way. Why aren't you doing what I like? Why aren't you doing what I want to do? It could be mirrored in that way as well. But if it's not, I feel like that's just this person's mindset where it's like, I feel frustrated. I want you to do what, it's almost like they feel like, I don't know, maybe it's just that you've grown, maybe you've done inner work and you've changed, you've evolved, maybe you've just decided that there's things you used to like doing that you don't like doing anymore, but it's almost like this person's like, you're ending this, or you're taking something away from me, but I don't see you pulling anything away from anyone. I just see you, it's like you're letting go. I see you just walking away from something. So it's not that you're taking anything away from somebody, it's your energy that you're removing. Which is, that's what I don't like then, because this person's like, don't remove your energy, I need it here and I need it like this. I don't like that. And that's kind of like how this is coming through. I don't think they're understanding, because it's like they're not looking at something from your perspective or what you would like. They're not looking at like what you'd prefer or how something would be towards you. This could be like a family situation, and this could be, you know, this could be a family situation, and maybe there's people around that may be expecting you to put up with certain things that you don't want to. So maybe they're looking at it like, for the sake of the family, why you know, burning the bridge. But it's like, I need my peace. It's that type of thing. But this person that you're asking about, there is definitely a level of frustration. There's a level of, why can't you just... honestly, it feels like, why can't you just play along? Or why aren't you... I feel like I have a conversation in my head of how something could go and you're not following the script, and then I'm getting frustrated. That's honestly how it feels. It's almost like you're standing on your own 2 feet, or you're implementing your energy, or you're really calling back your energy. And I'm not gonna lie, I just feel like this person doesn't quite like that, to be honest with you. Then we have the Temperance and the Star card. I'm not gonna lie, remember, don't shoot the messenger, this is just what's coming through. But the Temperance and the Star, there's almost this feeling of like, well, I'll just kind of like make it without you type of thing. Well, I'll just do good without you. Then it's like they're not seeing that like you both can do good on your own if the energies aren't working. It's almost like this person's like, I'll show you. Like, that's kind of like how this person's kind of like feeling. Because what would have caused the frustration and the trigger would have been this feeling of like only thinking of self, whereas they've took it like, I'm gonna be more selfish now. Like it's like, I'm gonna think of myself now. But the way I'm reading it is like, but you were thinking of yourself, that's why you got like triggered and are taking it out on the other person type of thing. That's how I'm looking at it, and that's how I'm reading it. Because it's almost, I don't know if like maybe this was like a connection and this person wasn't giving you what you wanted, and then you found somebody else to kind of like give you what you deserved, and put in the energy maybe that you were. And then this person's like, well, I'm gonna do the same. Like it's that type of thing. I feel like this person's very, I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna achieve this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna achieve, like that's how this person feels. It's almost like I'm gonna get the bag without you. Like it feels very kind of like frustrated, but it's almost like, I wouldn't say there's a level of spite, but it's almost just like, this person definitely does value you and your energy for them to feel the way that they're feeling, for them to feel your loss, and for them to want to be like, I'm gonna show you. Like they must definitely value you, but I think it's buried under maybe triggers for them, or where they don't feel good enough. I'm just gonna move my paddies a minute because she's sitting on my lap and I need to grab the cards. Let me sit for you, baby. Okay, I just want to pull a little bit deeper on this feeling, and get to the core. Tap me more into the core of how pile number 3's person's feeling about my pile number 3's. Tap me more into the core of how my pile number 3's person is feeling about my pile number 3's. Maybe this was a situation where you might have like earlier in your life been more of like a people pleaser or overgiven, and maybe you overgave a lot in the situation, and then maybe you learned to balance your energy, and this person might have taken it as like taking an offense to it basically, or it could have triggered them like, why aren't you giving me what you were giving me before? But it doesn't feel like they would have been given the same back, to be honest with you. We have the Hanged Man. Pile number 3. Tap me into the core of how pile number 3's person currently feels about them. Tap me into the core. 5 of Swords. Okay. I'm gonna pull the other 2 cards. I don't know if the feeling that I'm getting is that you would have at least let go of this situation, or like emotionally let go, or you could have like love for this. I feel like there's an elevated emotion when I'm tapping into you, where I feel like I love you, but I've got to walk away. I've tried, but I've really got to walk away. I've given you a lot of chances, but I've got to walk away. I've really got to establish this, and these are my boundaries, and if you don't like them, you're going to have to step away. That's just what's gonna happen. Because there's like a love that I see from a lot of you guys, or like your first choice wouldn't have been to cut this person off. That's definitely what I'm being told. Your first choice never would have been to cut this person off. If this person could have maybe respected boundaries or pulled back into you or whatever it is, you wouldn't have cut this person off at all. So there's a level of that I'm seeing, whereas this person doesn't see that there's still love from your end. I feel like this person almost feels like maybe you're out to get them, or I'm not gonna lie, and this is just coming through, they almost feel like there's spite. It's like they're just spiting me. They're just spiting me. You know, they're trying to get back at me. it came out of nowhere, and I feel like from your perspective it's like I have love for them, there's no spite, I just for myself had to pull my energy back. It didn't come out of nowhere. Maybe it was brewing for some time. Maybe for some of you guys it came out of nowhere. You just decided one day, like, I'm thinking of myself, I'm pouring my energy into me and I've got to cut off. Cool. But for some of you guys, I do feel like this might have brewed for some time, because there is an emotional connection that I see from your end to them, where it's just like, but there's nothing I can do. It's almost like I'm not taking responsibility for you and your feelings or your emotions. I'm not taking responsibility. Yeah, that's kind of like how it how you kind of feel. But from them, it's almost like, oh, there's spite in me. Because it's almost like with the Five of Swords, I feel like I'm still there with my sword. This person never even had a sword in the first place, but I'm so kind of like triggered, I don't even see that this person wasn't fighting, you know? Or maybe you did fight with them, but then put the sword down a long time ago, you know? Knight of Swords. And then you have the Six of... No, you don't. You have the Nine. I was reading it upside down. You have the Nine of Pentacles reversed in regards to how they, at their core, feel now. Knight of Swords, Nine of Pentacles reversed. Yeah, I almost feel like you've taken something away from me. I feel like that's how they're making me feel. Like, you've taken something from me. You've taken something. I feel like I have to be on edge because you took something from me. And it came out of nowhere. Like, that's kind of how this feels. Knight of Swords, Nine of Pentacles reversed. I don't know if this person's tried to apologize, or maybe like they would come back around, maybe saying, oh, I'll change, or I'll do something different, or whatever it is. Maybe they've come back around with that. But in the end, you were just like, you know what, you keep saying the same thing, there's no physical action. Because I keep feeling with the Knight of Swords, it's like I have ideas of how I want to do good. I have ideas of what I like to do. But then it's almost like I'm jumping back to factory set, and like I'm not helping myself. And that's where the Nine of Pentacles, then I feel like what could have been abundant is drying up. Or I have this idea of how I can make abundance, but then it's drying up. Like, this could be not just like an isolated situation with you. This could be in other areas of their life. Because that's honestly how it's feeling. Where they're feeling very, very triggered in regards to more than one thing. So it's like, maybe they're like trying to build like a business, but then they're being stupid with their money, or they're being careless, or they're just not putting the energy into it. So it's these ideas that they're having, but they're not physically taking responsibility. So then nothing's really being built, and they're like, oh, like they're getting triggered that it didn't turn into abundance. So it's like, why is this happening to me? Or they could be going into different connections with an idea, well, it's going to do good, and then it just doesn't. They're not putting the energy into it, so it doesn't grow. And then it's like, why is this happening to me? Everything's out to get me type of thing. And it could be like a family situation as well. Like, why did that person walk away? Why did that person cut off? But it's like, this person doesn't feel... It's funny because like, I keep feeling like they keep being dealt the consequences of their own actions, but then they're not. I almost feel like the consequences are being taken away from them, but at the same time I feel like they're dealing with the consequence of their actions. But it's like that, I don't know why I feel like something's being cushioned, like it's not enough. I don't know if this is somebody that like tends to get out of fires a little bit free, like somebody could take the heat for them, or maybe they have a parent that kind of like cushions them or takes responsibility off of them, or maybe they just jump into another relationship and then another one, so when one's crashing they just have a cushion. There's a feeling of something being cushioned, so they're not really learning something. There's something this person isn't learning for sure, because there's like a cushion in the way. I don't know what that cushion could be. It could be another person. It could be a parent. It could be a friend. I don't know. I feel like something's cushioning this person from truly seeing. Because honestly, I'm feeling your energy, but as quickly as I'm feeling it, I'm jumping. Now I feel like I'm honestly sitting in a pile of their mess. And I feel like they're almost showing me that mess. Going, well, this happened and this happened. But it's like, that job shouldn't have let me go. And that friend shouldn't have walked away from me, and that relationship shouldn't have, you know, they were out to get me, and then that family member just cut me off, and that was them. And it's like, I feel like I'm festering, but I'm not getting it because something's cushioning me, and I don't know what that is. I don't know what that would be. Pile 3, how does pile number 3's person feel about my pile number 3's now? We have flow. I feel like, I'm not gonna lie, in their mind, I feel like you may be the bad guy in the situation, but I also would not feel hurt or worried or frustrated about that, because I feel like this person has many bad guys in their situations. I don't feel you're the only bad guy because I keep jumping away from you and on to other things. There's many bad guys. I feel like there's many people out to get me type of thing. Like, that's how it feels. I feel like I'm on the defense. Pile number 3, please, spirit guides. Pile number 3. How does pile number 3's person feel about them now? We have seek. Pile number 3. Refusing to see. Yeah, literally. Refusing to see. That's literally the basis of this reading. I feel like they don't quite... Something's cushioning them, and I don't know what that is. Something or someone is something cushioning them. That's stopping them from really feeling the brunt of a lot of the fires around. And I'm not sure what that is. If it's a person, a relationship, a partner, family member. I feel like they're being cushioned. Right, why do we have flow and then seek? Please, spirit guides. How does pile number 3's person feel about pile number 3 now? Flow and seek. I'm hearing the Hunger Games song, You Can't Catch Me Now, the Olivia Rodrigo one. I almost feel like you're out of touch. Like you're out of sight. Yeah, I honestly feel like you're out of touch. Like I can't get to you. You're on a completely different wavelength to this person. And frequency wise, and remember when I say about frequencies, like there's no frequency better than the other. We're all just shifting through different colors. There's no color better than the other. You know, we're all just moving through phases. You're definitely in a completely different frequency to them though. It's almost like I feel like I can't get to you. I don't know if you've blocked this person. I feel like I can't get to you. I feel like I can't. It's like I'm the color yellow, you're the color blue. But you used to be yellow, why aren't you being yellow anymore? I feel like they feel like you've changed. But the thing is, I'm seeing these 2 cards. It's like I'm getting specks of what I'm feeling, but then the refusing to see is blocking me. It's like a pride. It's like I go to self-reflect and then I block it myself. It's like, oh, I really shouldn't have said that to that person. But they shouldn't have said it to me, and they shouldn't have done this, and they shouldn't have made me, because if they didn't do this, I wouldn't have said that, and they shouldn't have done these things. It's like the minute I self-reflect, something's coming in. Like, yeah, well, they shouldn't have done this, you know? And it's every speck I'm getting with these cards, I feel like something's clouding it straight away. Like I feel like I'm justifying... I don't know if they have a parent that justifies things for them or justifies that they're in the right. The reason I'm saying that is when we're young and we have a parent that's mean to us or bullies us, those thoughts are in our head for the rest of our lives. And when we go towards job interviews or whatever it is that we do, or we build a business or we go into relationships, those thoughts are still in our head and they can kind of wreak havoc until we learn to kind of pull them out and grow. Whereas this person feels like they have like the spirit of justifying in their head. So it's like the minute they go to self-reflect, it's been soothed over with, no, they shouldn't have done this. It's okay. Like I'm soothing something. It's okay that you did X, Y, and Z. You know what I mean? But it's like they know it's not okay, but it's being soothed. So it's like, yeah, well, they shouldn't have done that to me anyway. And it's like, it's honestly blocking any type of growth. Even with these cards coming through, for them to be able to, because if they self-reflected, they'd see you differently, and I feel like they'd emotionally connect to you more. But they're refusing to see. It's like, look at that, it's like a shield. It's like he's got a shield on his head. Something's cushioning him from being able to see. It's shielding him. So there's something that's cushioning this person, and it's stopping them from self-reflecting, which is then stopping them from growing. I feel like responsibility is being taken off of them. Yeah, so pile number 3, that is what I have for you guys. I really hope that you enjoyed your reading. Hit the thumbs up and comment down below if you did. I'm sending you guys all of my love. I hope you have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening. I'm laughing because Padme's seeing a little fly. Her head's just going around as I'm saying it. But I hope you guys have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you guys are watching. And hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys for watching. Hey pal 4, welcome to your reading. So we are taking a look at how your person feels about you now. So you guys chose the spell jar. I'm going to start with tarot and then we'll move on to your oracle cards. So let's get in. So pile number 4, please spirit guides, tap me into the collective of my pile number 4s. Oh my goodness, a card fell. Tap me into my pile number 4s, please spirit guides, tap me into my pile number 4s. How does pile number 4's person feel about my pile number 4s? How does pile number 4's person feel about my pile number 4s now? Pile number 4. How does pile number 4's person feel? We have the sun. Let me put that straight. There we go. How does pile number 4's person feel about my pile number 4's now? How does pile number 4's person feel about my pile number 4's? We have the King of Wands. How does pile number 4's person feel? Oh god, that hit me in the face. We have Judgment. Are we gonna stay still? There we go, Judgment. Pile number 4, please spirit guides. How does pile number 4's person feel about my pile number 4's now? How does pile number 4's person feel about my pile number 4's now? And you have the 8 of Cups. The back of the deck, you have the 7 of Cups reversed. Okay. There's a song by this girl group in the UK called the Sugar Babes, and it's called About You Now. And they basically sing, can we bring yesterday back around, because I know how I feel about you now. So I will say that this person feels a lot more clear in regards to how they feel about you now than maybe they would have done in the past, or at least in terms of like they feel more clear about you. That's what I'm being shown. I feel like this person, I don't know why, I feel like there's a kinship with you. Like I feel like this feels like soul tribe, soul family. There's a level of like love here that I'm being shown. I keep wanting to reference as well that this person finds you very easy to talk to. I almost feel like if I haven't spoken to you in like a year and I see you, let's just say tomorrow, it's gonna be like I only saw you yesterday type of thing. Like that's how I feel. I kind of feel like I'm at ease, and there's like a lot of love here that I feel, and I'm also hearing nostalgia for some of you guys as well. So this person may think back to time periods that you would have had together, conversations that you would have had together. There's a lot of that I'm being shown as well. I don't know why I'm being shown Jay-Z and Kanye West. I don't know why those two are coming through. It could be that you listen to them. I know they had like an album together. It's fine if you don't. But I'm just thinking of like a dynamic duo type of thing. So I don't know if you're asking about like a best friend or like a sibling or something like that. But this person's almost like... There's these TV presenters in the UK called Ant and Dec. And I don't know why I'm thinking of Ant and Dec. That's kind of like how it's coming through. This person sees you like that. Like you're the yin to their yang type of thing. Like this is how this person feels. Could be asking about a partner or somebody that you're just starting to talk to or develop feelings with, or again this could be just like somebody you're close with, like a friend, or just someone that maybe you haven't seen for a while but you do have really good memories with. Because especially with the Sun card as well, I feel like this person sees you as somebody that brings a lot of joy to them. Like you make a lot of people feel very happy. That's something that's coming through. Like I feel very I almost feel like you're lifting me up. I feel very bright. Like I feel joyful, like you're bringing a lot of joy to my life. That's kind of like how I'm feeling. And especially with the King of Wands, I don't know why I feel like you're bringing things to me. So I don't know if like with this person you brought them gifts or you bring them gifts, because for some of you guys this person's still around. The other three were like, we don't really talk anymore, but this one's like, you're still around. I still feel like there's a warmth here. Your presence is still here, because I keep feeling like, I don't know if you brought them gifts. It doesn't have to be gifts, because when we think of gifts, we think of like an object being given to somebody, but there's so many ways we can give gifts to somebody. We can give them compliments. We can bring ideas to them. We can get them inspired. We can give them experiences. There's so many things that we can give to people, but I almost feel like I'm being given something. I feel like you're bringing me like, you know, like you'll have like a friend and they'll put you on to something like music, or they'll put you on to like makeup or fragrance or whatever it is. Like this person feels like that, like you're putting me on to things, you're putting me on to new ideas or new pathways, you're kind of like lighting me up in that way. That's how this person feels about you. They feel like you're very given. I feel nurtured, but in a way like I feel like protected. I feel like your arms are coming around me and I feel like I'm kind of like protected in that way. I almost feel like there's a loyalty here. So this person feels like you're very loyal. There's such a warmth I'm feeling when I'm tapping in. Like I feel really warm. I feel really, really connected. Like I feel like this person's kind of like part of me, which is why I'm thinking this person may be, this person may be in your family. That's what I'm being told. Like, or it could be like soul family. That's honestly how this feels. To be honest with you. Why do we have the 8 of Cups? We have Judgment and the 8 of Cups. Why do we have that? I don't know why I feel like I'm yearning and I'm being shown like 2 dolphins in the water that are kind of changing color, if that makes sense. Like they're changing frequency, but there's like a love there. So this could be like a friend that maybe you've grown apart a little bit, or life's just gotten in the way. Like, again, this could be like a relationship that you have a lot of love for and there's a lot of nostalgia, but like maybe you're both growing in 2 different directions, but there's still a lot of love there. So this could be an ex where there's still like love there, or this could be a friend where there's always going to be that closeness, but you don't see each other as much, because that's how it's feeling. Like I feel like that dolphin's over there and I'm over here, but there's so much love, and there's almost this bittersweet feeling that I'm getting as well. Like I kind of feel like I want to cry in a way because there's nostalgia, but there's like a lot of love still. Like there's still, it's almost like we're going to come back around. Like it's going to come back around. We're going to come back together. Like it's okay. And there's almost this feeling of like you're still always there for me type of thing. It's making me think of the end of Friends when Monica and Chandler move out to like the suburbs and they leave the city. So that group naturally falls apart then, but there's obviously like a lot of love and like 10 years of memories. Like that's how this feels to me. So it's making me think of like a long-term relationship that just went past its day. You both outgrow it, but there's love, but you still see each other like family, or a friendship that you've had since you were really young, but you don't see each other as much, but you still see each other as family. Like that's kind of how this is coming through to me. Lots of love. I feel a bit of sweet. There's a level of nostalgia, but it's almost like I still have that, like there's a loyalty there where I feel like you're still around. Like I feel like there's like a piece of me type of thing. Again, this could be siblings where like one of you's like moved out of the home, or one of you's moved across country, but it's like there's that love still there. That's honestly what I'm getting. It's such a warmth, and I feel like there's a purity here of like love. There's a warmth and a real love here. This person feels like you're very given. That's what I'm being shown. I don't know why I feel like I want to like fight, not in a bad way. Like I don't know if you've ever seen iCarly. It was a kids TV show, and there was a girl Carly. She had a friend called Sam, and the friend Sam was quite she could be quite aggressive. She had like, I think it was like a butter sock, and she'd like beat people with it, but she was very protective over Carly. So she could like be fierce towards other people, but she was very protective towards her. That's what I'm picking up this person may feel you're like. So I don't know if you've ever had to stand up for this person, or you're just very protective over this person. Again, this could be like a younger sibling, so you're very protective, but there's a feeling of that. Like this person feels like you'd get that butter sock out and start swinging if you needed to for them. They feel like there's a loyalty there. Also, this person feels like you're very funny. I feel like I'm miserable and you're coming around and I feel good. That's how this person feels, which is a very lovely way to end the piles, to be honest with you. Pile number 4. How does pile number 4's person feel about my pile number 4s? Please, spirit guides. We have base chakra. Pile number, I'm hearing that song from Hannah Montana, You'll Always Find Your Way Back Home. So I don't know if somebody's moved country. We have blossom, and then we have find balance. And the back of the deck, you have rest and reconsider. Yeah, there could have been some sort of timeout in this connection, but I feel like it's more so like you're both allowing yourselves to grow and find your own way. I don't see any bitterness with that though. I don't see frustration. I don't feel like why are you over there and I'm here? I don't necessarily see that. Feelings like that could have passed through, but there's such a warmth. I feel like even if I had thoughts like that being in your presence, you'd shine a light on them anyway. So it's like maybe I was just in my head a little bit. Like that's kind of how this is feeling. Maybe I was just in my head because you're still here type of thing. Yeah, I'm hearing that Hannah Montana song, you can change your hair and you can change your clothes, but you'll always find your way back home. I'm hearing that for some reason. One of you, either them or you might have moved, something like that. You could have moved out of like a family home, I'm not sure, but that's what I'm being shown. There's like a link here where there's just so much love that you're both benefiting from, it feels, which is lovely. Base chakra, blossom, find balance. Yeah, I feel like you're both similar at your core. I feel like you both maybe had the same upbringings, or you both were in the same upbringing. There's like my inner core, like my truest nature, like it's like I'm cut from the same cloth as you. Like we're both blooming into our own apple trees, but we were cut from that same apple tree. We were once part of that, you know, one apple tree there. Like we're both cut from it, but we're blooming into our own trees now. Like that's how this feels, which is why I feel like it could be family and like creating your own families. But again, it could be like childhood friend, or like, again, relationship where you grow, but now you're growing in different directions. Because with blossom, I almost feel like where there could be gaps in this situation is where you're both meant to grow in different ways. Because I feel like in different ways that you grow, if you do come back together, because for some of you guys you will, especially if this is like family or friendship or whatever, I feel like you learn from the other then. It's like you both bring a level of expertise to each other, which is quite healing. That's what I'm being shown. It's like, think of a tree that starts off with the root, but then it goes outwards like this, but then it comes back, you know what I mean, and brings that nutrients back. With find balance, honestly, again, to attach to that growth thing, it could be like you're both really close friends, but life's getting in the way. You're very busy, you're making money, families, kids, all of that could be getting in the way, and there's that's what I'm being shown as well. But with the find balance card, I feel like sometimes there may be like ebbs and flows in this situation because you're both meant to grow and develop in different ways and then maybe come back. Like that's kind of how this feels. But there's definitely a level of like friendship at the core, or a level of just like family. There's this family feeling at the core that this person feels for you, which is really, really beautiful. Very lovely way to end the piles. So pile number 4, that is what I have for you guys. I really hope that you enjoyed your reading. Hit the thumbs up and comment down below if you did. I'm sending you guys all of my love. I hope you have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you guys are watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys for watching.